Welcome to the Back Nine Six Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 136 of the Back Nine Six Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. I texted you earlier, it took me 135 episodes to realize I should be doing a show rundown at the top of the show before we get into a cold open. So I'm trying to figure out a way to organically do that. Today it's going to be inorganic, but tonight we're going to get you some spring break conversations, your favorite school break of the year, I know.
Yeah.
A little bit of March Madness, some PGA Tour golf with the Valspar and the Texas Children's Houston Open, a little Masters talk, and of course, sadly, the Tiger Woods latest arrest. Before we close it out with Patio Beers. So that's tonight's show. Want to kick it off. Spring break's this week for you, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're off to a hot start. In a good way, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you remember last year, I had the kids by myself. My wife was out of town.
That's right.
But we still had a good week. This week, they went to Indy Children's Museum, so they were gone like all day. So I was like able to get some work done. And we've got perfect weather, by the way. Like at least the first couple of days. It's supposed to be like rainy, but it's supposed to be relatively warm. They're going to the zoo tomorrow. We're going to a Reds game on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that. I am actually going to partake in that. I do like spring break though.
Now you do. Before you previously is called, I think, the most worthless one of the year. You said
maybe that was last last year's energy.
The correlation, I think.
And I love it. Like I love it this year, but like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like when you look at the calendar, right? Like my kids have a month and a half of school left. Yeah. Why are we doing a week break with a month and a half of school left?
Right. Yeah, that's the well. So my wife and son were off last week. They go to a different school district locally, and I never understand why they don't. A lot of districts they line up with Easter, right? This one does not. So like we're like a week early or a week behind everybody most years. So it's just like a weird time, but
that is weird to not have it. Like obviously ours is going to run into Good Friday, right?
Yeah.
It's on that side. I know some people that have spring breaks next week and they go from Friday through next week. That makes some sense. The whole not attached to Easter thing is a little odd for sure.
Yeah. It just seems it's different than anything I've ever like known or grown up with, right?
Because they're probably going to get Good Friday off. Am I wrong about that?
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
So I don't know the reasoning behind it. I'm sure that there's probably some kind of contractual one that I don't know about.
Yeah. They've had enough days off. That's what I would just... Look, I'm here for the taxpayers, right? With the snow days this year, teachers have had way too much time off.
Yeah, there you go. Don't tell my wife that, or your wife that.
No, I tell her to her face. I told her, I'm like, we've had enough snow days. I'm going to call the school as a taxpayer and complain about this.
Yeah. Well, so last year for spring break, we took a little trip. This year, we're trying to plan a bigger summer thing, so we didn't go anywhere. But I will say, have you ever done Great Wolf Lodge?
I have. And we're actually in the talks, not doing the one here, but for Christmas when we go down to Texas this year, maybe stopping in Dallas and doing the Great Wolf Lodge down there. I'm sure it's much different, probably not, than the one up here.
Yeah, so we had never done that before. Honestly, not like my type of quote unquote vacation. Like I hate tourist trap stuff. Like I hate like just super, curated experiences. Like I'm much more of a do it myself and kind of fly by the seat of my pants vacationer. But honestly, I think I've got to the point now where like I finally realized like this is not for me. Like this is for the kids. I just need to let them go enjoy the water park and the bunk beds and do the thing. And like, I just got to suck it up. And it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, there's some things like I'm still not a big fan of Great Wolf Lodge.
Me either.
Like it's like a glorified hotel. Like the water park's cool, I guess, kind of okay. But like my kids would have just as much fun in a hotel pool. Like for real. Like
that's a good point.
They wouldn't have like exponentially more fun at a water park. Like they'll have more fun, but it won't be like is it worth the money? Is what I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I will say that these places, it's absolute highway robbery what they're doing with the arcade and the other stuff that's there.
Oh, and the beer and the alcohol, dude. That's where they trap you. You're like,
yeah.
You're like, oh, I guess I'm going to buy this $7 Miller Lite now. Like, I kind of have to. Like,
yeah, dude, it was the same price as the freaking ball games, man. It was like $14 for a 25 ouncer.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
I have. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've definitely done it.
Yeah.
In the water park specifically, because I'm like, it's like having a cigarette. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, only 8 more hours of this. Like, when is this place close? Like,
yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, long story short, like I kind of went into it not like dreading it, but like I was a little apprehensive, and it turned out better than I thought. So.
Fun fact about Great Wolf Lodge, I've been there about 4 times. Always seems to fall on when one of my teams is playing a game that actually matters. They are 0-4. My teams are 0-4 when watching a game at Great Wolf Lodge. I've watched 4 games in that bar at Great Wolf Lodge, like right off the lobby, 0-4. So I'm actually thankful for that because they're 4-0. Like you'd see me just take a trip over there on like a Saturday night and like hang out in the bar. You know what I mean?
That'd be tough to be a regular at the Great Wolf Lodge bar.
I'd do it if they were 4-0, probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. That's a good segue. Speaking of which, Kentucky season has ended since the last time we chatted.
It ended about when we thought it was going to.
Yeah. I mean, what's the post-mortem here? Are you excited to lay this team to rest?
Oh, I told you. So we watched we golfed in the morning. You did not partake in the golf, but then we went over our guy Aaron's house, and Kentucky was the first game on Friday. And, we'll get to the bad beat. And it's off people's radar because our bad beat was different than everybody else's. Like everybody else covered. We did not. So, but I think like literally, so the shot, right? Like Santa Clara makes it. It's kind of like, honestly, part of me was like, thank God this season's over. I can't take it anymore. And then they hit the half court shot, and it's like, all right, we're back in business. And I think I said before the halftime, I said, this season is never ending. They just can't let me die. Like, and they end up going to win. But we had a alternate line bet on that game. We get a dunk with 12 seconds left to go up. Our alternate line was 6.5. They go up 7 in overtime. And I told you, I said this, he had a pretty good game. Brandon Garrison had 2 blocks in overtime, helped them kind of win in overtime. And I said, you guys are like, God, you talk so much crap about this guy. And then he fouls with like 2 seconds left. We don't cover our alternate spread. And then you guys are like, oh, I'm like, I told you. It was going to happen eventually. I didn't know it was going to happen the last 2 seconds of the game, but he was going to do something stupid at some point, and it happened. But the postseason here, it kind of ended when I think the Iowa State game was like the perfect synopsis of their season. Is like they couldn't put their foot on anybody's throat. They had Iowa State on the ropes, like literally on the rope. Like they're halfway through the first half. They're up by like 12. They do some stupid shit. Next thing you know, it's like 4-point game. And then it's like, then they were done from there. And it was like, they could play with any, that's what I said. I was like, I think Iowa State was a bad matchup for them, but like if they could play with anybody. So it was like, all right, they're kind of dangerous. Right. But then they do stupid stuff, and it's like, and then that is a perfect synopsis of the whole season. And I for one, am glad it's like over. I'm tired of hearing about the $22 million roster, and who knows if that's even a real number. For the record, I don't. I've heard somewhere around 13 or 14, which is still outrageous, right, for a 12-person basketball team. But and you got to think probably 7 of them are actually getting the bulk of the money. But I'm tired of hearing about that. Yeah, I'm ready to move on. I'm so thankful the season's over. I am. And I can like actually enjoy basketball. Like last Sunday was miserable for me. Like just sitting there, and I don't turn the game off. I sit there and take it. Like as soon as they blew that lead, and then they went down like 18, I was like, you got to sit here and be a man. And if you're going to enjoy the good times, you got to enjoy the bad times. And that's what I did, and just sat there and moped. And, my kids were like, Dad, Kentucky's losing. No shit. I'm sitting here watching the game. I can see the scoreboard. Yeah. Unfortunately, my kids, God love them, picked Kentucky to, go to the final game because they love their dad. But I also won our family thing because they did that, because I did not do that. So
right.
But I think it's been a good NCAA tournament so far.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody complains about the lack of upsets, but yesterday was amazing.
Yeah, that was, truly wild. And speaking of family bracket polls, so we do one too. And my dad started it, and he got a trophy made for it and all this stuff. So last year, Zach won with the Florida win. He's been pumped. He's had the trophy in his room for forever. Well, Duke was his champion.
Oh.
And so I'm sitting there, I'm sweating. I'm actually sweating a bet. I had UConn plus 5.5. And it was I was like, oh, that's dead. I see Duke shows violence today, whatever. They're up 19 at halftime. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Done.
Wild comeback, obviously. And then even wilder, just that play, just hold on to the ball, dude. You can't get a 10-second there. You're going to get fouled. Just don't move.
It was almost he was so deathly scared of going to the free throw line.
Yeah.
Get this ball out of my hands kind of thing.
Yeah. Throws it up, stolen from the logo, bang, game over. Dan Hurley's in refs' faces for unknown reasons. Just a wild finish. But watching Zach go through that, and he was so bummed out. He lost. He wanted to keep the trophy so bad. But
I will tell you this, for one, I'm as a Kentucky fan, and I'm protecting our pedestal, right? I'm terrified of UConn. They're on number 6. They're 2 away from us. They seem unbeatable. They have one loss in the last 4 years of the NCAA tournament, and it came by 2 points to the eventual national champion last year. They terrify me, but I will tell you what, I was 2 years old when the Leitner shot happened, but my grandpa instilled the hate that lives in my heart for Duke. And there was no better hate watch than what I experienced yesterday. The thrill of them losing. And honestly, someone brought it up. Is this the shot that finally pushes the Leitner shot just a little bit further back, right? It's not the main, hey, this is the main buzzer beater ever. This has got to work its way in. I'm hoping it ends up in commercials. Like the Leitner shot has for over the last 34 years. This needs to be the new staple buzzer beater, in my opinion.
I definitely think it's at least close, for sure.
Yeah, because it's hard to make something your staple buzzer beater when it's Hampton beating Iowa State, or what. Right. It's got to be 2 mainstay brands, right, that are going head to head. I think that's what makes obviously the Leitner shot what it is. And UConn, if you don't think UConn's a blue blood in basketball, you don't know basketball. Because people they're everything's been post 1980. I think that makes them more of a blue blood, honestly. Yeah. It's more recent. They've got 6 national championships in the last 46 years. It's just insane.
It is crazy. Yeah, I hadn't realized they had only lost 1 game.
They never lost a national championship game too. That is if someone sold their soul somewhere along the line. They're like, hey, you're going to win a bunch of national championships. And by the way, you'll never face the heartbreak of losing a national title game. That's insane.
Must have been Jim Calhoun.
Yeah, it had to be. He kind of looks like he sold his soul.
That's what I'm saying. He looks like it. That's a really interesting point about it kind of being on par with the Leitner shot. I won't argue with you.
No.
I'm not a Kentucky fan, so that's coming from me, not from you.
But I think the overall tournament's been awesome. I think we've got a pretty good Final Four. You got, maybe outside of Illinois, kind of the surprise. But if you follow Ken Palm, it's not a super big surprise. No. I think they're 6th in Ken Palm or something like that. So just outside the top 4. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend. Final Four is one of my favorite days. I really enjoy, watching that. I hate that the national championship's on a Monday. I really do, but it starts at like 8:58. Like, why can't we tip this thing off at like 8? You know what I mean? Like, let's get this thing over by 10:30 because you got to stay out. You got to stay up and watch, one shining moment. Like, you can't just go to bed after the game's over, So
yeah, I'm really feeling the whole East Coast dad thing right now with these like post 10 p.m. starts, dude. What the hell?
Yeah, that
wild.
Well, there was a couple of the games in the first round. I think it was on Friday night. Like, 2 of the Final Four games tipped off like after 10:20. Like, what are we doing? I know it's a Friday night, but good God, dude, I can't stay up till 1 o'clock watching. I mean, not if I want to feel good in the morning. You know what I mean? So.
Even if I wanted to stay up, I physically cannot. I will just fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Like, there's not.
Well, especially if it's not one of your teams playing. Like if Kentucky tipped at 10:30, like I'm staying up for that, right? But if it's like UConn versus like UCLA, like I'm not gonna like make myself like pry my eyes open to stay awake for that. So
sure, yeah. Okay. Anything else on March Madness?
Nope.
No,
it's almost over.
Almost. I mean, we're about to enter that kind of the void here, right? Like we get baseball back, we're going to have the Masters, but we're that kind of post college basketball, pre NFL football is like a tough window.
Well, they just overload you. I mean, like March Madness, like that first weekend is just like game overload, right? And like there's always something on, and now it's like we're about to go to something where there's like nothing on ever. So
yeah. It's tough. All right. Thank you all for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and review the show. You can follow us on social media at Back96Pack and send us some fan mail. We that link's down in the show description. Not fan mail, but we did get a text from our guys, Big 54 and Tommy Turndogs. They sent us a beach pic, said they were prepping for the 2026 season, and then went out and played Waterleaf Golf Club. Where you look this up? Where are they?
I think it's in like Sarasota.
Okay,
area.
Sarasota area. Yeah, saw some big numbers posted from our boys. But yeah, shaking off the rust, enjoying the beach. I can't blame them. Like I told them, I haven't touched my clubs but one time since Black Friday. So I'm glad they're getting a head start on my season prep at least.
Yeah, I looked at pictures of that course when he sent the name over. It is not a course I'd want to play in my first couple rounds. No. Fresh out of the winter. No chance.
No, just the one video Pat sent us was water on the right, trees left, and a forced carry over like a swamp. Like I was like, no thank you right now.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, because we played on Friday before, the NCAA tournament, and I just had the chunks. Like that just happens this time of year, right? It's like you can't find like the bottom, So I can't imagine playing a course like that and in dealing with that in my current state of my golf game. So
no, not at all. All right. On a little pro golf. We missed last week. That was my bad. Great Wolf Lodge got me. So we missed the Valspar. Matt Fitzpatrick won, which was cool coming off of the player situation.
Yes. Yeah, I like Matt Fitzpatrick. One, because he's got I call it like the Steph Curry effect. He looks like just like a normal guy, like that you would like be a member at your golf club. And then you find out he like crushes the ball, like surprisingly he's surprisingly long. Like I like Matt Fitzpatrick other than like 1 week out of every 2 years, so I'm happy. I'm happy he won though.
So much. He's been playing really well. So this is going to sound very American to me when I say this, but one thing that I do appreciate about Matt Fitzpatrick is like a lot of the European guys can be like really bitchy, and he does not come off that way.
No, not at all. No,
like he was talking about the players saying where guys were chirping him and stuff, and he kind of like water off a duck's back. He went and shook Cam Young's parents' hands and stuff and congratulated them. He just seems like a more kind of like you said, more like regular dude.
Yep,
than some of these guys are. So I appreciate Matt Fitzpatrick a lot. His brother won on European Tour this week as well.
I saw that. Yeah. He was one that I thought wouldn't take this long to kind of get some wins under his belt because he had that really good Open Championship. What was that, 2 years ago? pretty well documented on Full Swing. Actually, it might have been 3 years ago at this point. Regardless, it had a pretty good Open. Yeah, he qualified into the Open and had a really good Open. I think he came in top 20. It's kind of like this is going to springboard him, and he's not really heard anything about him over the last 2 years, but I did see that he won, so that's awesome. He seems like a pretty down to earth guy too. So
yeah, but yeah, the story of the week, obviously, Gary Woodland,
dude,
coming out and winning the Houston Open. What talk about a feel good story? I feel like we haven't had a golf story like this in a long time.
Yeah, and it helps that Gary's like the nicest guy in the world, probably. Like he just seemed, but the whole brain stuff that he had going on, and then it comes to find out he's got like PTSD from it, and like all this stuff, and guess he kind of talked about he was dealing with it on the course on Sunday. Which is crazy. I guess he's got like extra security. I don't know the whole thing, but yeah, I've always loved Gary Woodland. I think he's got one of the best swings on tour. But he's got like the athlete swing, right? Like, he played another sport, which I always love when those, I think kind of Brooks Koepka's kind of that way as well. But super awesome story.
Yeah. I think he's 41. He's leading the tour in ball speed this year.
Dude, that one drive, the one drive yesterday was like 196 ball speed. I'm like, holy shit. Dude, he's not young.
No, I think he's 41. Yeah, he's, and so for those that don't know, like this has been pretty well documented. There's a good interview, I think, with Rex Hoggard out there that he did, I think, Players Week, where he talks about that PTSD. But yeah, he had a brain lesion that I guess was like putting pressure on the same part of your brain that like induces fear and anxiety. So like he was just like constantly under this fear and anxiety and felt like claustrophobic and all these kinds of things. And so the PTSD from that still is impacting him, like you said. And that's where the extra security comes in, because it's like, I guess some of the stuff he describes is like where he just feels like things are closing in on him.
Yep.
Is one of the symptoms. So yeah, for him to be dealing with that and to win a golf tournament by 5 shots, like
wasn't close. Like he just blew everybody else out of the water.
No, it's absurd. But such a feel good story. Like I'm sure somebody's gonna have to continue to battle. I don't know if this is like a thing you like quote unquote beat or whatever, but I hope in the best for him. He's it gives you something to root for in a guy like him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and I'm just always a fan of the, like, I'm honestly in amazement, right, of like these guys that just like play another sport forever and then just decide that they're going to be like, I think I'm going to play golf, and then just become that good at it. Is honestly, as someone that's played golf their entire life, I've played other sports, but like stuck to golf, it kind of pisses you off a little bit. You're like, why can't I be that type of athlete, right? But I always like when guys like this, especially Gary, but yeah, he broke down. I didn't get to watch much this weekend. I watched a little bit, but he broke down on the 18th green. It like kind of makes you tear up a little bit. It's like, the bounce back guys, like especially something like that, is always like makes you feel good. So
yeah, for sure. I don't know, Gary. We'll kind of pivot in the next part of the conversation. Masters Week being next week kind of snuck up on us a little bit. I don't know. Early Masters thoughts. Do you like guys you're thinking about? If to me it feels like a weird Masters where we might be due for kind of an off the wall winner.
Yeah, I think it's almost like because Rory won last year, they're like, all right, you don't get that again. Like, you don't get something like that again. Like it just feels like someone's gonna, not like someone out of the blue, right? But like someone that's not, you're kind of not thinking of. You're going to know their name, right? But you're not like, oh, I think they're going to win, or that you have a feeling that they're going to win. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. It feels like there's too many, the main names are too much up and down.
Yeah. That
you can't really trust them. And then, you got so much talent now that it's like, wouldn't shock me to see a guy kind of not necessarily come out of nowhere, but someone no one's really thinking of to win.
Yeah, when you just like kind of look at the odds board, like Scotty has had a tremendous like up and down season, struggling with some things. Rory, the back injury questions, we're not really sure where he's at. Doesn't sound like he's going to play this week, so coming in off the players finish is last time we saw him. Bryson won on Live, I think maybe at least once, maybe twice now. So that's an interesting thing. Maybe he's rounding into form. Couldn't tell you on Rom. I assume he's probably finishing top 5 every week on Live, but I don't know. Ludwig had the players collapse. Xander still feels like fake, like he's playing better, but it doesn't feel 100%.
Yep.
And then you get into like Tommy and Colin and Cam Young off the big players win. Like it's not, you don't. The top guys aren't like separating kind of like they have in the last few years.
I think of all the top guys, the one that I think would be probably Cam Young that showed some stability, enough stability to possibly win as like a quote unquote big name, but. Outside of that, like some of these, Rory's kind of dealing with an injury. Like, it's like, I know there's just so much volatility with the big names. And it might very well be Bryson's year, right? Like,
could be,
like he was so close last year outside of a bad Sunday, something like that for a guy like him is something that would like fuel him. You know what I mean? You could see that happening.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm looking at this odds board. I rattled off those names. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys I mentioned. You want to guess who number 10 is on the odds board? This is on DraftKings, so it could be different in other places.
It's not like an Akshay or something, is it?
It's not. I like that guess, but it's not. No, the odds are 30-1.
Justin Rose?
So Justin Rose is 30-1. He's tied with Matt Fitzpatrick, Justin Rose, and Patrick Reed.
Oh God,
30-1.
Really?
On DraftKings, I must have set them. I broke their market. They can't take any more Reed money because I have them at 90-1.
Hey, check out what Brandon Holtz is at. So
who?
So I'm bringing this up because for guys our age. This guy should be our hero, okay? So I don't know his exact age. I'm going to guess he's probably in his mid-30s, early 40s. He's the U.S. Mid-Am champion this year.
Gotcha.
Okay? Which, for those that don't know, U.S. Mid-Am typically is essentially like an extended college tournament. Guys that you have to be 25 and over. But, guys are staying for 5 years now. So really it's like guys that are like 1 or 2 years out of college. Are kind of running the Mid-Am stuff. Well, he wins it this year. He's playing in the Masters. I follow him on Instagram. Super awesome story. He's a realtor. I think he's got 2 or 3 kids. Like it's an awesome story. And they might not even have odds on him, honestly.
No, he's on there. He is 2,000-1.
Good for a bet, I think. But really cool story. I've kind of been following along. He's taken on some sponsors, and people are like, "Oh, you're selling out." It's like he pretty much explained. He's like, "Guys, like I have a mortgage to pay. Like I do have a job, but I've got to I have to pay for this travel somehow, right? Because when you win the Mid-Am, like it's not just the Masters, right? You get invited to the Pine Valley Mid-Am tournament. You get, he played in the Gasparilla, which was down in Florida in end of February. Like you get invited to these events that you just can't get into. So when you win something, you want to take advantage. Well, he's got to pay for it somehow, right? Like, and he's gonna be at the Masters. So he's got a clothing sponsor now. I think Remax, who he works for, is sponsoring his bag. Like he's got some sponsors now, which is really cool.
That's crazy.
He's our hero, man. He's like, it's like when I saw him win this year, I'm like, it's the dream is still alive. Like I don't think it'll ever happen, but it feels good to like have an older guy like that win the Mid-Am.
Did he steal our boy Stu's spot?
Oh, yeah. The automatic qualifier for Stu is Brandon Holtz this year. So shout out to him.
I'll definitely be following him just to see what's going on. I had no idea about his story.
Yeah. Shout out to him, though. So he went to Illinois State is where he graduated from. I think back in 2000. See, I should know that. I think he's 2 years older. He's like 38. So he graduated college in like 2010. from Illinois State. So he's a good amateur. He's a great amateur golfer. And shout out to people in real estate that find time to golf with our flexible schedules.
Yeah, quote unquote find time. That's crazy. I'll definitely be following that. You want to hear some other? So this is what I like to do during the wintertime. I just build my master's portfolio way ahead of time.
Is it actually betting if you take 90% of the board?
I know. It's not that serious.
No, I think you just start adding money and like you'd be like, all right, here's $5. And then it's like, all right, he's playing like, and then you add another $5. Like at some point you probably have like $20 on main guys, right?
So that last year I was convinced, and this is like the most right I've probably ever been about a sports bet, I was convinced Rory was winning last year. And so I just literally FanDuel every week, they put up a 25% boost. It's supposed to be for the tournament that's happening, but you can use them on futures. So last year I was just like 25% boost on Rory, 25% boost on Rory. Like I've made so much money just by like building that portfolio up. This year I've just been sprinkling it around on like long odds on guys that like were playing well at the time. So I got the Reed 90-1 after he first won on the European Tour. That's down to 30-1 apparently. So that's give me that closing line value. I like that.
I'll tell you what, I'm so convinced that Bryson's going to win this year. I think I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you've only got a week to do it, but
you got a week and a half. Start sprinkling.
Yeah.
What is his odds at?
It's 10-1. Pretty short.
Ugh, God, man.
I know. I bet Justin Rose back after he won, or like as he was winning at Torrey. That was 50-1, so again, a little bit better number. This is my shameful bet. I always have to do a little speed sprinkle. I got to get a nibble when I see any kind of life. So I got that at 45. Still a better number you can get now. I don't know if it'll be a better number next week, though. And I got Akshay at 80. He's 60 right now. And
I think some of these guys, it is better to bet them in the beginning of the year, before they get a win or they rack up some top fives or something like that. Like, I'm not shocked that Akshay's has moved that much. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. I bet him the week that he was in contending at Bay Hill.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think anybody doubts his talent, but until he like won something big, you're not going to like, oh, he's a 30-1, or whatever. So,
right. And then last one, which I felt good about until this past week when he absolutely shit the bed. I got Brooks at 50-1, and that like I said, I felt good about because he was leading the tour in approach until last week when he just like didn't show up. So yeah, that's my current portfolio. You know what? I won't lie. I also did add Rory last week just because his number got
back to back, huh?
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen, but. It was like a piece of mind.
You don't want to
thing.
Not have money on him if it does happen, though. So.
Yeah, and the number was drifting a little bit because of the back worries. So I was like, this might be as good as it gets. So
yeah,
I dabbled. But is there anybody you're liking early? Yeah, I mean, I know you mentioned Bryson, maybe.
I like Bryson. I tell you what, it feels like Cam Young. This could be the one he gets. Like we talked about him winning a major this year. I think he just knocks it out of the way early. I do like him. I would say between Bryson and Cam, those are kind of the two guys that I'm like, I feel the strongest about.
Yeah. I think, if we're going to go true wild cards, like down the board people, there's been enough, like, I think about someone like Jacob Bridgman. He's consistently played well, won at Riv. Like, if you're looking way down the board, I think he could be somebody in contention. Honest to God, I don't know if he can win just with everything going on in his life, but like Gary Woodland, man, why not? Hits the shit out of it. That plays at Augusta.
Just bombs it. Yeah, it's like just bomb it out there. Like Augusta is like, there's definitely some traps, right? Like you can get into off the tee, but like for the most part, you can kind of just shoot it out there and like, all right, let's go find the ball and figure it out. You're not losing a ball. You might have to like thread some pine trees, but like. You're not. I mean, that's why Phil's won 2 of these things, right? Like Phil just figured it out. Like I'm just gonna hit it as far as I can, as long as it doesn't go in like Rays Creek, right? Like just hit it as far as I possibly can, and we'll figure it out once I get to the ball. There's a reason once he started doing that, he won 2 of them, right? So, and I think Bryson's kind of he's kind of figured that out with this course of like. all right, I can kind of just hit it as far as I can on most of the holes, and then, you know, as long as it doesn't make any big mistakes, which he did last year, you know, starting on 11. Mm-hmm. But I think, I couldn't see why Gary wouldn't be able to play well there.
Yeah. I saw a stat too, and it's tough with trends because, you know, they're trends until they aren't. But I think it was like each of the last 15 champions has played one of the last 2 weeks before the tournament. And I think it's something like 10 of the top 12 on the odds board right now are not playing in these 2 weeks before the tournament.
Which is weird. Usually some of them play at least one of them, right?
Yeah, well, Scotty had the kid, so he just pulled out of Houston. Roy's apparently resting the back. I think Liv isn't playing for these 2 weeks, like in general, so that's why those guys are off the board. And yeah, so you get like guys like Fitzpatrick and Cam Young, like these guys haven't played 2 tournaments or whatever. So I don't know. It's kind of an interesting stat, you know.
You can't just not play and then expect to go win at Augusta, right? I think that's probably just general sense of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think we could be in for an interesting Masters.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay. I guess on to the no good easy transition here. I'm just like sad, dude. Like this is one of the most like disappointing, I don't know, like outcomes for like Tiger Woods for me was like our sports hero or icon of our generation. It was like him and like Ken Griffey Jr. kind of like we're like that timeline for us, right? And this is like the fourth documented time that he's had an issue with this. Who knows how many outside of that? Like, I mean, it's just not good.
So my general take on this is, I think this fits into the box of like, you don't ever want to know your heroes, like truly know your heroes, right?
Yeah.
One, because we're all human, right? We all have something, you know. You can act like the best choir boy on the block, and you have something that's like a vice, right? Or you have something going on that's like you don't want people to know about, or maybe looked at somehow from people. But this is truly one of those instances of like, this is why you don't want to know your heroes, right? Because like he's, you know, you think he's just like, look at this guy. He's got everything. He's got money, you know, great kids. Like his kids seem unbelievable, right? Mm-hmm. At one point he had everybody's like attractive wife. Now he's got an attractive girlfriend. This guy's got everything, right? Big house, anything you could ever want, but everybody's got something going on. And this is why it's like, you don't want to know your heroes, because we think those people are bulletproof, right? Like they don't have any issues in their life. And clearly he's dealing with something. I don't know what it is, but I just hope this time, unlike the last time where it was like, you know, when he wrecked his car and pretty much almost killed himself.
Yeah.
I just hope this time, like, he seeks help, like, and gets the help he needs. It's clearly a problem, right? Like at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously the story, you know, passed the breathalyzer, refused the urine test, like pretty obvious. It's probably some sort of medication, like, or other drug addiction, right? Total armchair quarterbacking or whatever on this stuff, but like so many instances you got to lose the benefit of the doubt on that. And there's been also enough, like, you know, you see him do a TV appearance or a press conference and you're kind of like, something's not right.
Yeah.
You know, so he's slurring some words, eyes look a little cloudy. Like, you know, he's just clearly been, and his body's been through everything. A lot of it self-inflicted, right? Like, but that's not an excuse, right? Yeah. Like, you know, a reason. And yeah, I don't know who. It's tough when you, like you said, the whole heroes thing, right? Like, you see it all the time. These people who have it all, or that whatever, like is leaders of companies, leaders of whatever, like they just have a lot of enablers around them. You don't have anybody who's going to stand up to you and tell you like, "Hey, dog, we're not going to drive anymore."
Yeah, how many? I mean, think about it. How many people have the balls to tell Tiger Woods no?
Right.
Probably his mom and his dad. And that's about it, honestly.
And they're both gone, unfortunately.
And now that he doesn't have a wife, right? Like his wife probably was that, right? But now that he doesn't have a wife, he's got a girlfriend. It's not the same. It's not. You know.
No, then you're going to put your kids in that position to do that.
Yeah.
Like how shitty is that? You know.
And his kids aren't old enough to be like, Dad, you're acting like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like his kids aren't old enough. And besides the fact that like, I don't care, like, for instance, like how screwed, like if I ever screwed up my life so much, like the last thing I want is advice for my kids. Like you don't know, like you're 14 years old, 18 years old, like you don't know, you know what I mean? So it's like they can't do that for him. He's got nobody that's going to tell him like, hey, you need to get your shit together. Like,
right.
And I think he's so big that like he probably doesn't even have an agent that's going to do that, right? It's not like what is he protecting, right? Like he's already worth $1 billion.
Steiny's been keeping every skeleton in every closet possible for his entire career. He's not going to, stand up to him. And
that part of me is like, you know, with all this stuff going on, obviously we know the well-documented stuff with the mistresses and stuff like that. But like, I think Stevie got to the point where he was like, I'm done covering this up. Like truly deep down, like he's like, I'm done. Like, you know, I think of it as the line from Entourage, like, you know, his partner's having like an affair with the girl in the office. And he was like, I don't need the stress of an affair without the pleasures of having, you know, he's like, that's what I think. Like, I think that's like what Stevie probably got to. He's like, I have all these stresses for nothing I'm doing. Right.
Yeah.
It's all what he's doing and me trying to kind of cover it up. And I think a lot of people get that way around him now. It's like, dude, I'm like, you know, other than his agent and people probably making money off of him, like, dude, I'm not, you know, I'm not covering this up anymore. But no, he has no one to tell him no. Like that's pretty much what it boils down to.
What you just said with the Stevie thing too is interesting because, like, honestly, I kind of feel that way like as a fan. Like, I'm tired of like carrying the water for this guy when this stuff comes up. You know what I mean? Like, why does it keep coming up? Like, I want to just enjoy, you know, one of the greatest sportsmen of our lifetime and like be a fan of him. And he's just like continuously making it difficult.
Yeah. And that too. And it's like, you know, part of me is like, is it what makes it the most sad, at least from like when I really started to think about it, is it really felt like he was growing into his spot in the game.
Yes.
He's no longer going to be the guy that's going to go out and win 6 tournaments a year, right? But it kind of felt like he was taking that seat of like, hey, I'm now a steward, right? Like I'm a steward of the game, not necessarily someone that's like here to grow the PGA Tour brand or anything like that. I'm here to kind of guide it into like what it's going to look like 30 years from now. And it felt like he was, you know, kind of getting closer to a lot of the younger guys. And like, you know, when he was going through his thing, you know, dominance, he wasn't friends with anybody, right? Yeah. Like he started having friends, right? Like his and, you know, he got closer to Rory and, you know, all these guys, all these younger guys, he kind of started taking under his wing. And it really felt like it was like, all right, he's growing into his part, right? Kind of what Arnie did, kind of what Jack did after they could no longer win tournaments, right? And it felt like it was like, man, he's like making strides into like really getting into the spot where he needs to be right now and still be involved in the game, right? Like he can still play the Masters, he can still play some of these tournaments, and we still get to watch him, but kind of being that steward of like getting the game to where it needs to be 30 years from now. And he feels like that's kind of all back burner. Honestly kind of feels fake at this point. Like, I don't know, like, was he high when he was talking to you? Like, you know, it kind of null and voids everything he's done over the last 3 years. It kind of made you feel good about where he was at, you know? Yeah, no, that's very well said. I don't know, like, I haven't been much online today. I assume there's been no statements put out yet. I don't know when we'll hear from him next. Is he going to show up to Augusta? Like he did the one time after all that stuff happened. So. Right. Like I have no idea. And you know, what's that media storm going to look like too? Like and I think he's at the point in his career where, yes, he has an exemption into the Masters, right? But I think if there's one place in the entire world that could tell Tiger, not this year,
yeah,
it's Augusta, right? Like, hey, no, you're not going to overshadow the golf tournament and not make the cut, right? Like, we're not going to have that. I could see them they're not going to do it publicly, right? But they might just tell them, like, no, not this year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that too, because you're 100% right. Like, that would become the story of the Masters. The whole
story until he missed the cut or something like that, Yeah. But if he makes the weekend, it carries over to the weekend, And it's like the Masters doesn't want that. The Masters wants the stories that come from the tournament, right? They don't want the story being, some guy that was just in a jail cell 3 weeks ago.
Well, and honestly, like that Friday, the Masters would only be 2 weeks removed from the arrest.
Craziness.
Like, crazy timing for him personally. Like, shouldn't be there. Like, should hopefully be seeking some help with this stuff or whatever. But it's who knows what's going to happen next. I know he signed up for the Senior U.S. Open.
He did
here in Columbus.
Yeah,
not here in Columbus, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, so. I'd be shocked if he played in that. Honestly, I'd just be shocked if he played any point this year, even if he's healthy, right? Like, just for public of like, maybe he doesn't go to rehab, but just for like public rehabilitation as far as his image goes, where it's like, oh, he's not going to play this year because he's taking care of himself, even if he doesn't do the right things, which I still think he should get help. But and I get it. Some people, look, I have no problem joking about anything. I know people cope with things that way. Some of the stuff that's put out there is kind of funny. Like, but I know people cope with it that way. And that's kind of how I cope with things sometimes. I'm like, all right, I'm sad, but I'm just going to laugh about it kind of thing. So like, I hate when people get on Twitter and they're like, this is no time to joke. It's like, dude, you don't know how someone copes. Like, that's their hero probably, right? Like, that might just be their way of coping with it. So,
yeah, I think I have a bigger problem with like some of the tone deaf stuff that's been said.
Some of the stuff's not been great.
Platforms, like,
some of the stuff's not been great. But like something you put out there that's like meant to be funny, like I'm good with that. But like some of the stuff I've read, I'm like, dude, that wasn't it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But like you said, like Sunday Red's running the ad. I'm like, dude, someone's got to take that down.
Yeah,
for the polo that he was wearing when he got arrested.
Yeah, bombarded by Sunday Red ads, and specifically the one I sent you guys last night was literally the polo he was wearing in the mugshot. So, which, by the way, people, of course, they can't contain.
Oh, I'm sure it's sold out. I'm sure it's just about sold out. Honestly,
no, it is sold out. 100%.
Oh yeah,
like as of yesterday. So, you people, who are you? God, talk about tough transitions. We're off to the Patio Beers segment here.
Oh God!
Which I saw you had a shandy there, so you did officially break the seal on the shandies for the year.
I did. Yeah, I did it on Friday, and then Saturday hit, and like just had sinus stuff, so I didn't have another one until just now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It gets above 70. It just it hits so good. It just hits so hard.
I agree. I held out. I told you I was going to. I actually held out. I went just with the Miller Lite bottles, which have been hitting just right lately for me. So yeah, that's where we're at. I've yet to have a shandy, but it's incoming with this weather change. It looks like we're getting. So.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go first.
Go? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of touched on it early on, like when I was like, I really enjoyed watching Duke lose. So it kind of brought up like, my wife like doesn't quite understand how much enjoyment I can get out of a team losing.
Yeah.
When like it's not my team doing the winning. But that brings up a good point. Like what is something in sports when someone or a team or whatever loses that gives you almost the same amount of enjoyment as your team winning?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably unique to your fandom, right? Like,
100%.
There are some that transcend. Like, I do think Duke's pretty close to transcending like universal hate, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Probably a lot of people probably feel that way about the Yankees. Like that's another one. Or the Dodgers are kind of getting to that point with
Dodgers are kind of like yeah.
I mean, at least they're kind of fun, but like they're kind of getting there. For me specifically, like I want all of the bad things all of the time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't care what it is. Anything bad that happens to that team is okay with me. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, mine, like, I really enjoy watching Louisville lose, even though they're, like, not really, I mean, they're Kentucky's rival, but, like,
sure.
It's not, like, record-wise, it's not really a rival, in basketball, at least. I really enjoy watching them lose. There's something about, like, Alabama football losing that's kind of got me a little, like, gets me going a little bit. I think it's because now Saban's not there. Like, the privilege that they have is not earned. Like, Saban's like, dude, like, he's the best coach of all time. Like, it is what it is. Like, until he's gone, this is what we got to live with, kind of thing, right? But, like, recently, like, when they got beat by Indiana, I was like, man, this feels good. Like, I'm not an Indiana fan by any means. Really, I don't like Indiana that much. But, like, it was something that was like, God, this feels good. Like, finally watching them lose after, like, all the winning they did for, like, 20 years or however long Saban was there for. Duke basketball, I think, pretty much transcends everything. I think people love, like, I love it, like, when the Cowboys lose. Like, it's just,
I was just gonna say,
I think that's kind of like transcended across all, kind of all fan bases.
I think the Cowboys thing is just kind of like funny at this point. That it's not like I like enjoy it, but it's just like it makes me laugh because it's never like they just lost. It's like something embarrassing or horrific or like whatever when they get involved.
See, so that's how the Bears got for me for a little while, right? Like there's like it's not fun when they lose all the time, right?
Yeah.
And then they got good this year, and it was like, and then they had 2 gigantic comebacks against the Packers. I celebrated when the Rams beat them in the playoffs. Like it made me feel really good. And I can tell you, I feel like, again, this is probably just for Packers fans, but like the Lions kind of having a down year kind of got me going a little bit. Cause like they were talking mad shit, about how they're back and then they missed the playoffs. Like can't do that, especially with essentially the same roster they had the year before. That made me feel pretty good.
I'm surprised you've not mentioned Michigan yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given. Yeah, I was getting to that. But I mean, that's and honestly, any sport. Like, I cannot wait for them to lose to Arizona on Saturday night. Like, that is going to make me, I'll hate watch that for sure. I mean, any sport for them, for sure. Like, I'd be watching gymnastics and I'd be cheering against them, for sure.
Jeez. Yeah, there's I never had a problem, really, with Notre Dame until this last CFP cycle.
Yeah.
And now
I'm
kind of getting like, Trevor's going to be pissed at me. Sorry, Trevor. I know it's your boys, but like, and I like Marcus Freeman. That's the thing too. But like they got real bitchy this last CFP thing.
Yeah.
And the whole thing came out with like Pete Pavakwa and the like, oh, if they're in the top whatever, they're going to get an automatic bid. Like, take it all away.
They are the Duke of football. Like,
very true.
Like, everybody says Duke whistle, which is real. They get calls. It's the same thing. Like, oh, Notre Dame didn't make it. Let's make a fucking rule so they can make it. Like, that is insane. That is absolutely insane. It's privilege at its finest. And to me, it's like, for the record, I love Freeman. He played at Ohio State. And he was like right in the time when I started watching football. Like, I had a Freeman jersey. Like, my parents got me for Christmas one year. Like, I love him, but like, I hate Notre Dame. I hate it. It's so privileged. It is the most privileged fan base program. Like, join a conference. Like, it made sense 30 years ago when there was like, 12 independents, right? Like, all right, whatever. You don't want to be a part of a conference, so be it. Now it's like, dude, you're like one of 3. Like, get in a conference. Like, I don't get it. And then bitch about not making it. It's like, you're not in a conference. Like, yeah. God, see, I'm getting worked up already. That's a good one. I never considered Notre Dame, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming around to enjoying their sadness a little bit.
I'm trying to think of another one.
I mean, Xavier basketball, just take it all away from me. Like, I enjoyed paying for them, so that's another one. There's a lot tied up into that too for me. Like,
I'm really starting to dislike Florida, specifically Florida basketball fans.
Yeah, you had a long going
buddy,
beef with Florida
did I go back through the bookmarks? Because I got into it about 2.5 months ago. They beat Kentucky at Florida. And I said, look, this team's the front court's amazing, right? Like, it's amazing. It is. Condon and Hawk and all those guys, like, those dudes are like, the real deal, right? But I said it comes down, like, you got to make 3-pointers at some point, right? Like, you don't have to be the best, but you can't be like in the bottom third, right? And I got tossed in the comments. Like, people trashed me. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. They don't need to shoot it. Like I said, as long as they shoot like 34%, they probably are almost unbeatable. Like, and that's not even that good in today's game. Like, that would put you like mid-tier, like probably like mid-pack in all of Division I basketball. Well, I got tossed, right? Like, people, like, you don't know what you're talking about. When you out-rebound people, when you play defense like they do, you don't need the 3-pointers. I'm like, okay, all right. Flash forward to when they lost to Iowa, buddy, I started going and retweeting every single reply I got. And I got DMs like, oh, you're going to pull that up? I was like, I'm just telling you, I was right. They shot 30% in the game they lost. And I said, if they'd have shot 34%, one more three, they win that game. I'm a ball knower. I'm sorry, Florida fans, but I'm starting to hate their fan base because they are not knowledgeable at all. Like, oh, you're just going to defy how every team's won the NCAA tournament over like the last 30 years. Like, you're just going to be the anomaly that shoots 30% from the 3-point line? No, not going to happen. Now, they did get knocked out sooner than I thought they would. I thought it would probably end in like the Elite 8 or Sweet 16 for them, but I was early, but I wasn't wrong.
I think this is not Florida University, like University of Florida specific, but as a state, I think Florida rivals LA for like
just
the
shitty fans.
Just shitty fans. Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot that has to do with that. Just the same with LA, right? Like, a lot of transplants, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of move in and maybe they don't have a team. And they're like, fuck it, I didn't go to college. Like, I'll just be a Florida fan. Or I'll be a Florida State fan. Or I'll be God forbid they become a Miami fan. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, they don't know anything past like the 3 years prior, right? Like, that's the other frustrating thing. Like, in my arguments with Florida fans, right? They're like, we own you. It's like, this year you did. But let's not forget, your two best coaches ever who have won national championships at your school are under 500 against Kentucky. That includes Billy Donovan, too. And, like, they didn't know because they probably didn't know who Billy Donovan is. That was before they became a fan of the fucking school. Like, just outrageous. Yeah, I would agree. Florida fans, shitty.
Yeah, it's a good point with the transplant thing. And just, like, a lot to do, right? Like, you got beaches and theme parks and whatever. Same for California, right? Like,
it's just, like, it's so far on the back burner that it's, like, it's just, oh, if we don't do one of these other things, like, we'll go to a Miami football game, right? Like,
yeah.
That's pretty much what it boils down to.
No, for fandom, like, you got to have some real equity in this, you know?
You live or die. Like, to me, the judgment of, like, whether you should spend time on a team is, like, if they lose, it ruins the rest of your day. And I feel like your teams you like are that way. Like, my days are ruined. Like, just that day. Like, I don't carry it into the next day. But, like, the rest of my day is ruined if they lose. Like, I'm not going to be be mad at everybody, but I'm not going to be like this holly jolly person, like, and pretend it didn't happen. Like, that's the type of Midwest fans are, like, most Midwest. That's how, like, Wisconsin fans, Ohio, like, any school in Ohio, like, that's just how we are. And it's probably the lack of shit that we have going on around here, right? Especially in the winter. but yeah,
I
like
mean,
live
for
or die.
A lot of us, it's like, you're either born into it, you've got strong family ties somehow, or you're like your grandpa got you into Kentucky basketball or whatever, right? Like, it's that kind of stuff, right? Where you have like either you're literally born into it and it's your city and whatever, or you've got a close family member and you've been a fan for 30 plus years, right? Like, that's fandom to me.
Yeah, and I think it's like I didn't choose it. Like it chose me. Right?
Shit chose me, man. I didn't choose this pain. Okay?
Like I didn't like watch a Yankees baseball game one time and go, I'm going to be a Yankee fan. Like never did. I mean, and like, God forbid I'm a Reds fan, and it's fucking heartbreaking because we suck all the time, most part. And it's like, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, I would love to like a team. I would love to like been born into a team that has won like 4 World Series in my lifetime, but I didn't.
Yeah. No.
So
we were born with a team that had won one and then has not done shit since.
I was 8 months old when they won their last World Series.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good question. That's that's the flip side of fandom, I think, and honestly, that's a big part of being a fan, right? Like the hate for the other things in your life that come up because you're a fan.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is like that's what I respect, like Jets fans. I respect Browns fans. Like, good for you, dude. Like, you have had almost nothing to root for, almost nothing, and you still do it. Like, that is true fandom.
Look, 2015 as a Bengals fan really hurt me in a way I didn't know that I could be hurt with that playoff game against the Steelers, and to not even like taste that for that long and still hang around with those teams that are just moribund franchises.
Yeah.
As someone that roots for some bad franchises, I got to say that's like to stick with like the Browns and the Jets and the teams like that. That's deep and that's courageous in some way. And could be stupid too.
And here's the thing, though: if they do actually end up winning something, like for instance, like
that's why you stick in it.
That's why.
The reason.
You got all this sweat equity built up.
It's the what if.
Yeah, and like for instance, like like I said, I root for the Bengals as long as they're not playing the Packers. And as someone from Cincinnati who's felt the pain through the Reds, right? Like I went to that playoff series when we had a 2-0 lead. I went to every home game. Like I felt that pain before. Like the buildup of like the Bengals making the Super Bowl and like watching their success was like, I was getting enjoyment out of it because I'm like, I know what they've been through. Like through the Reds, but like I know the pain, right? Like I was born here. Like I've seen the pain of bad teams and all that. And like, it was enjoyable for me to like experience just from like the outside looking in of like, dude, this is kind of fucking awesome. And it put in perspective of me like bitching about the Packers losing in the NFC Championship game, right? Like, it's like,
thank you.
It's like, oh, okay. Like I'm mad, but like it could be worse, right?
Yeah. Try not winning a playoff game for 30 years, pal. Yeah, that feels.
Oh.
All right. That was, a good question. So my question, this hit me and I texted Nick about it when it happened. I want to know about cheap thrills. So just like things in life that are like a cheap thrill, right? Like it doesn't cost you anything, but it gives you a little jolt of excitement. So for me, the day that I texted Nick, went to go get my car washed, when you drive in there, how you got to line it up, get your tire right in the path or whatever. Fucking nailed that thing. Didn't have the guy waving at me either way. And I was just one of those like, hell yeah moments, right? You're in the car, you're like, hell yeah. So things like that, like what are some cheap thrills in life that you just kind of like give you a little moment of joy?
So recently, and this has kind of been like a little bit of a New Year's resolution, like if it's not something that's going to shock me or flood the house, I'm willing to learn how to do it, right?
Yeah.
So like, and I've done a couple small things and I'm like, damn, man, this feels good. Like I watched the video, fixed it, and it works perfectly fine. Like that stuff has become kind of like my, like, all right, like I'm slowly trying to build up to bigger things, right? Like,
yeah,
I think my next undertaking, well, I'm building up to this coming winter, like in November, December, I'm going to try to lay flooring in my house by myself.
Godspeed,
but
brother.
I'm trying to like build up, like get bigger and bigger things. So it's not like I don't go from like fixing a faucet to like you know, like I'll lay floor now. Like,
yeah.
So, but that's my goal, is to kind of like gradually learn things. So I'm like, don't feel super intimidated when I go to do that.
Yeah. I had one of those moments yesterday, actually. You know, RIP Dad, love you. One of the last projects we did together was wiring the back patio. So we put a ton of work into the back patio. We got a whole new one last year. I've been the last like 2 months now, I've been accumulating furniture, got a new grill, all this stuff. Anyway, he wired it for me. And I forgot at the time when we were doing the project, we left, we had a wire that went up so I could hang string light from him. So got an outlet box and from a junction box or whatever. And we did not wire those outlets at the time because we were like, oh, I won't need these till next year. We'll hook them up next year.
Yep.
Okay. It was before he got sick. So I'm out there trying to do these lights. And I'm like, why the fuck are these lights not turning on? Well, the wire wasn't connected yet. So shout out to Tyler. Tyler in Tampa listens to the show. I called him up. He's my electrician now. And I was like, dude, what the hell do I do? Like, I can't figure out why this wire's not working. So I start taking some apart. I'm like, oh shit, it's not wired. So he walked me through like, all right, it's going to be on a GFI circuit. Go trip that circuit. That'll cut the power. All you got to do is put green to green, white to white, black to black, wire nut them up. Boom. Took me like 10 minutes. Wired that shit up. Boom. I got power.
It is.
Hell
like,
yeah.
It feels good. I'm telling you, like, I've fixed the stupidest shit around our house. And I'm like, damn right I did that. Like, didn't have to call anybody. I watched a couple YouTube videos. I'm not going to lie. Sure. You know what I mean? But I did it.
Yeah. No, that's a great example. I got a couple other ones for you. I think one that a lot of people can relate to. You probably try to do this often. When you can hit the gas pump on the even dollar amount.
Oh, yeah.
Electric moment.
You ever seen that video with the old guy at like a Kings game?
Yeah.
And I think it was a Dallas Mavericks game. Dude, he looks like the guy that's going to nail it right. Like, you pick this guy's going to win. You know what I mean? And he did. He nailed it right. That is thrilling. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. Another one I've stumbled into recently, I realized we cook a lot. So like, and there'll be leftovers because we're cooking for, 4 people and whatever. When you can guess the right like Tupperware size for the leftovers, ooh, really good peak cheap thrill. It's harder than it looks.
It is, because a lot of times I throw shit in there. I'm like, God dang, that's way too big of a Tupperware for this stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I can't take it out now because now I'm gonna like dirty it and then I'm gonna have to put it in another one. I'm like, no, I've never mastered that. Just so we know, like,
no, me either. But like, you're looking at a bowl of soup or chili you made or whatever, and you're like
dumping it, and you're like, oh, just at the top, like,
yeah,
lid goes on. All right, we're good. Yeah, that's a good. The gas pump is a really good one. I'd never even thought about that. Like, just, I don't know. Like, it is. I do it every single time. Like, you use card, but I'm like, I'm not putting an odd charge on my card. Like, I want it to like $42. And getting it to stop instead of having to go like to the next hour is thrilling.
Yeah, most times I just fill it up, but every once in a while I'll be like, you know what, we're gonna play the game.
We need a little challenge today.
We're gonna play the game. So yeah, something I mentioned in the the beginning of the year with our goals pod was like just trying to find a little bit of more like the moments of joy in life, and it's like, dude, those are just like cheap thrills that
I'll tell you, like,
a little jolt.
I like the back in the spots. If I can do it in one try, it feels good too.
Yeah, I've got that dial with my truck now. I can't, for whatever reason, my wife has a Traverse, and the backup camera on that thing's different than my truck.
Yeah,
I can whip in my big ass truck in any spot out there, but put me in that Traverse and I'm crooked as shit every time.
Smaller car. Can't park it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like turn radius and stuff is different on every car. Like your car, you know how much this thing can turn and what it can handle. And like, you get in a different car and it might have more, it might have less, whatever. It does make it hard, but I do enjoy like just whipping it up and then right back. And like, people are probably watching me like, oh, he's going to pull back out. Like, nope, I'm good. But I'm like, I'm dead in the lines here. You move it along. Like, keep going.
Yeah, that's a great example. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's so many of them out there. Like, I know I'm forgetting one, but yeah, the gas one's a big one for most.
I was trying to
most dudes. The gas one's a big one.
Yeah, I was trying to think of, because I knew I was asking this earlier. I was trying to think, like, what, you got any golf examples? Like, I think one for me is the T flip right after you hit a shot. Sometimes you get those times where the T flip like flips out and it'll land back in the ground. Yeah,
oh yeah,
pretty cheap thrill. Feels good.
I'm trying to think of a good golf one. I'm
trying to think of some other ones. That was the one that came to mind immediately. But there's got to be more. We just don't think about them.
I know. It's like, I'm just, honestly, like, this is probably me just getting older, but like going through a round without breaking a tee always kind of feels good. Cause like, I don't carry a ton of tees. So I've been in situations where I'm playing in some firm ground and I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm down to like 3 tees. Like, we got to start collecting these bad boys at the tee boxes. So like, when I don't break one, it feels good. Like, I'm like, all right, like I had the same tee the entire round. Like, it feels right.
Yeah, that's a good one. Cause you're a plastic tee guy usually, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a wood guy, and I want to say I probably put, at the beginning of a round, I got plenty in my bag, but at the beginning of a round, probably throw like 4 in my pocket. And most times...
You put 4? I only put 1. I'm a 1-tee guy.
I don't know why I do that, I just do.
I'm a 1-tee guy.
It's rare with the tees that I use. Shout out to, what is it?
Birch.
Western Birch,
Or Western Birch, yeah.
Yeah, Western Birch, they make really good tees. I usually am putting some back in my bag at the end of a round. I usually don't break that many.
Really?
Yeah. They're strong, dude.
As soon as it gets to like July, I start breaking a ton. That's when I start getting in a little bit more firm ground. Like, not super firm, but just like a little bit more firm. I start breaking a ton of them.
Part of it for me is, I'm maybe not the best flusher. I'm more of a sweeper than like a digger, so I don't think I break too many.
Yeah, you're kind of like you're getting it off the top of the tee rather than like hitting it. Yeah.
I break more tees with driver than irons, I think.
Do you really?
I think I do.
There's something there. I can't figure it out. There's something there.
It's not good. I can tell you, it's probably it's like the bottom of the driver just like hitting the middle of the tee. It's probably not good.
There's a message there.
Yeah, it's something I need to learn from that for sure.
No.
But yeah, golf cheap thrills, there's got to be
more than what we're thinking of, but the tee thing is a big one for me.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Good episode. Nice little free-flowing convo. Quick one tonight. I say quick because it's minute 72 here, but quicker than it has been. We've been having some long ones lately. So next week I'm sure will be long. Masters Monday.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're saving it up for that.
we're so back. Like having major championship golf back, and especially the Masters. Like
and it looks like weather as of now is like kind of sticking around a little bit here. So hopefully the Masters week having good weather is always a positive. I think like decent weather, sun out. Like
once you hit Easter, which is this weekend, like you hit Easter, you hit Masters weekend there. Like that to me is spring. Like once you get there, you're like, okay, I can like get excited about stuff again.
Oh yeah, it's right around the corner for sure.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening. Please subscribe, rate, review the show. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. Shoot us some fan mail. Let us know your cheap thrills. I'd love to know that. Or your sports, your
hate watches.
Yeah, your hate watches, your enjoyment from other teams' disappointments. That'd be great to know too. So, all right. Until next time. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six-Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six-Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.